Timberlands. I mean,
Yeah.
I think between y'all and Wu-Tang, y'all literally just outfitted all of us young boys in the 90s, man. I mean, we saw y'all and we were like, okay, this is what we got to do.
This is what we got to wear? All right, cool. Nah, that's what get us right. Nah, that was the dress code for us. Like, it worked because the place where we was at was rugged, man. And then, like, as far as the Timberland thing goes, that started for me in high school because it started out of necessity and trying to keep up with the times. Like, we wasn't fly enough to have all these different kind of sneakers and stuff like that. So if you get you a good nice pair of rugged Timberland, a good pair of construction Timbs, that can last you probably the whole school year. So we took it to another level and said, yo, if we all just rock Timbs all year long, then, and it just became a thing. Like, I don't think we didn't buy sneakers for probably for 10 years straight. Just like, nah. Like, you might have one or two pair of Jordans in your thing or Adidas or something like that. But before that, it's like, yo, bro, we formed a brotherhood. And I remember, like, we was in the lunchroom. Remember high school lunchrooms? High school lunchrooms is scary. You know what I mean? It's not nefarious stuff going on in there. So I remember putting our feet in, you know what I mean? Like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And going, yo, you know what? From this day right here, we're wearing nothing but Timberlands all day. A dude like Tech already was coming to school with combat boots. So he's like, yo, those is cool, but we ain't about to get no combat boots, bro. You know what I'm saying? We got to be fly, too. So I think we started with the Tim boots that was like had a little bit of sneaker in it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like we couldn't we still young, so we couldn't afford the things that we wanted until a little bit later. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that was in the building, and again, salute all the soldiers and all the people that served, because that was a given. That was a layup. That came from rocking with Decepticons and having this soldier mentality and trying to bring that forth. Again, it wasn't like we wasn't the kids that was gonna come out and be like, yo, we got the gold chains and we got all of this fancy clothes. It was, you gotta remember, back in then, dudes was fly. Gucci links, Cuban links, and rope chains and medallions and all that. That's also the era. That's also the crack era. So it's like, man, we not doing that. So you gotta pick your slot. And we was the soldiers. We was like that off top. So we was like, what why run from being that and try to act like because we rapping now and now we're these fancy kids. We never lived like that. So that was for us. It was like a given to do that. And then when you got all your bros, like the boot camp, that's all family. So everybody was already on it when they was little.
You know what's dope about you guys? You guys were like the front end when it came to fashion. Cause I remember looking at the merchandise next to between Wu-Tang, and you guys used to show y'all merchandise in the booklets. I remember going back to 95, 96. You guys was really pushing that line, along with Wu, along with Mobb Deep. They used to come and do it later.
I gotta big up Drew High and Buckshot, because Buckshot is way ahead of his time. Way ahead of his time.
Mm-hmm.
And his PNC is Drew High. And Drew High is about business. He's busy about business, and his heart is with his family. So he's not one of those, how people say, culture vultures, is trying to eat off the young black kids and stuff like that. Like, dude, he'll come to the neighborhood. He'll sit with the family. I know his mom and his father and all of his brothers. Like, we are family. So it's like these guys, like, a lot of people don't know, Duck Down was ahead of the curve even with the internet game. Like, I remember going to Duck Down Records, and these guys was like, "Yo, we're gonna have you guys online talking to your fans at 3:00." Right? I'm like, what? We just wanted to smoke weed and go back to Brooklyn. Like, we want to be online talking to nobody, but when you do it, it's like, holy snap, this is incredible. Like, oh, this is interesting. You know, it's not like what we do now. We go live on the Instagram or we go live on the Snap this or, you know, all these different things, and it's immediate satisfaction. Like, you had to pick a time, let the fans know you go in there, and then, you know, do these things. So these guys was ahead of the curve with the promotions. And I got to give it up to Nervous Records, too, because Nervous Records, they so old school that they, in a place where people are trying to get it fast, they was they was committed to doing vinyl, you know, which made us popular with the DJs. DJs, if you don't give a DJ vinyl, they like, yo, they feel left out. But when you give a DJ vinyl, they like, yo, word, like they still got. I bet you, Stretch Armstrong got his first version of The Shining. I bet you he still got that somewhere in a crate somewhere.